Welcome to Good Goodbyes, the Funeral Facts podcast. We are really glad you found us. In this podcast, me, Simon, a funeral director,
and me, Tina, I'm an independent celebrant.
we're going to discuss all things funeral in an informal space to demystify what happens when we say goodbye.
Based on your questions and queries, Si and myself are two industry professionals that are going to chat through the hows, whats and wherefores. We actively work in the funeral industry in Devon in the UK. So, we hope you enjoy the episode ahead. Welcome to Good Goodbyes.
Hello, and welcome to Good Goodbyes with me, Si.
And me, Tina.
Little bite-sized episode today on something that will be going through all of your minds at this time of year, and there may be a couple of cards that you're going to be writing that you don't know how to do it. It is Christmas, and it is Christmas cards specifically. Now, that might sound like a funny thing to do an episode on, but there is a good reason, Tina.
Yes, because often people don't know what to write in a Christmas card, so they don't send a Christmas card, or they send a very generic Christmas card, which most of us, like we're writing, if we still are these kind of people who write Christmas cards, we might write a number and we get in a rhythm and then we just write, Happy Christmas and whatever. And then before we know it, that's in an envelope and that's winging its way to somebody who's recently had a loss or had a loss since last Christmas. So actually, it's nice to personalize it. So here are some tips, and we will put a nice link to a website as well in the show notes. So what could people write in a card?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It depends on the relationship that the person may be with the person that they've lost. I think that's an important kind of starting point, because it could be that actually this isn't necessarily a unexpected loss or something they didn't know was going to happen, but it doesn't mean it hasn't impacted. It doesn't mean that they don't need kind of a little bit of I know things are different, or I know it's been a tricky year, and there are certain ways of sort of doing that and saying that. I think it's important to address the person that may be missing from that card, that person's name that would have been on there last year, perhaps.
Yeah. And I think that is a nice thought, use the person's name, mention them, don't avoid it. Don't say, oh, I normally would have said Tom and Mary, but Tom's no longer here, so I'll just put to Mary. Yeah. Do put to Mary, but maybe then just say something along the lines of, I know this Christmas will be very different without Tom. I will be thinking of you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and there are definitely nice ways of doing it.
Yeah,
but like Tina said, don't be generic. Do not to Merry Christmas, Simon.
Yeah, and don't feel you have to fill the whole card out. If you're sat looking at the blank page and you think, oh no, I've got to write loads of stuff in here now because I need to write something special to Mary. Don't feel that obligation. You can just put, I'm thinking of you and the kids and remembering Tom this Christmas. That will be fine. It's just a nod to it. And if there are young children in that family, or you've got children, or you could even enclose a picture that your grandkids have done. Here's a picture that the kids did of Santa. You can do anything you want in a card, just to give that nod, to remembering.
Yeah, I think thinking of you and Tom at this time of year, I think it's a really, really nice thing, because Christmas is a bit of a time of remembrance as well, and there are certainly kind of Thanksgiving services, memorial services, all that sort of thing going on, because it is a time of year that we do look back, we reflect on what's gone before. So with Christmas cards being sort of sent out, you should do that within that as well. You should definitely think to yourself, actually, maybe it's the right thing to do to send a card when maybe you wouldn't have previously as well, because there can be a lot of comfort in receiving that card and that little message. And we've talked about it in lots of episodes of not knowing what to say. Well, actually, if you've got the opportunity to write it down on a card and send it, and not not necessarily have to say it face to face, then that's as good as anything, isn't it?
Yeah. And you could put something in that's personal, which is nice. You know, I'm remembering Tom and the time when he came round to ours and ate 6 mince pies in a go.
Yeah.
you can add something into that. You know, I'm thinking of you and remembering Mary and thinking about that time. How thoughtful she always was with her gift giving. You know, just something that you remember about that person that feels like a personal story. That can be quite nice. And you know, you might have something that you say, like, every time I see a mince pie, I remember your dad and how much he loved them. Yeah.
It's funny. So my dad has there's a bakery near us here, and he has this real affection and affinity with their mince pies, and they're all little individually wrapped little mince pies, and every year probably buys 30 or 40 of them, and they're like on this basket on the table, and he would just sort of pick one up on the way past and have one. But he's in the flat on his own now. I lost my mum last Christmas, and I have no doubt in my mind he will have 30 or 40 of these bloody mince pies again on the table. So yeah, if you've got little memories like that, little sort of callbacks, again, it's a really nice note to leave to make someone smile, and yeah. If you can do that, if you struggle to do that face to face, doing that in a card is probably the next best, isn't it?
Yeah. Would your mum have limited his mince pie consumption?
No.
No.
Yeah, absolutely not. I don't think there's man or beast that could stop the Moore's mince pies. Absolutely.
So he hasn't gone rogue since she died. Then I was just checking in.
No, not at all. I think I very much look forward to seeing the basket again this year.
Oh, lovely. And I suppose the other thing just to say is, you know, sometimes if you can, you can extend an invitation, because it might be that this person is getting less invitations because of that recent loss, or that loss since last Christmas. And so if you're inclined, you could certainly say, we'd love to get together and hear some stories of Tom this Christmas and raise a glass to him. So you can extend an invitation in your card as well if you want to. Yeah. Or would you like to come around on Boxing Day anytime after 10 and just have a cuppa? The kids will be around. You know, whatever you think works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. The landscape has changed. I think that's a fair thing to say when anyone suffered a bereavement in the last year. This Christmas will be a very different Christmas to the one before. So yeah, just being there, reaching out, anything you can do like that is only going to be a positive, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant. So right, as you write your cards, you can be replaying this podcast for all the ideas of what to write in it if you hadn't already had a good thought. Yeah, and if you were umming and ahhing about whether to write cards, now is the time. I think we should go back a little bit old school. I think we should be sending Christmas cards. I think they're a nice thing to have. So yeah, go ahead, make sure you mention the person. And actually, from my point of view, to all of you, happy Christmas. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. You've been listening to Good Goobyes, the Funeral Facts podcast. Please do like, subscribe, comment and share. Drop any questions on our social media, on Instagram, or in the text option in the show notes. Si and I are qualified professionals, but we always advise our clients to seek any additional support from medical practitioners if they need to. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay well and be kind to one another.